Well. We're back on Thunderous Altercations. Man, it's been a while. We're so excited to come back for season 2 of this epic show. So, how you doing, Kelly Renee?
I'm good, David. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Even though it's some crazy times we're going through, but
Crazy.
yeah, it's definitely crazy. So, Thunderous Altercations is perfect for what's going on in the world today.
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of thunderous issues going on right now in the world today. Trust and believe me. Besides the altercations, how about the disrespect? And oh, I can't even. I had a day. But it's good to see you. So I'm glad we were able to get back together and get this done because this is so important right now.
Yeah, most definitely. Especially when you come off of an epic season 1, you always got to run it back. It just took us
Yeah, you got,
longer than
yeah.
we thought, but we're back.
That's cool. It's cool. It's kind of like, Apollo Creed when he was like, there ain't going to be no rematch. But it is a rematch, and we're back. So we can battle this out again for another Thunderous Altercation for season 2. So if you guys were riding along with us last season, you came out to the shows. First and foremost, thank you for all of your support from last year and your continued support for us being back here this year for a second season. And me and David talked and was like, you know what, it's so important right now for our show, the way that things are going and us being stuck where we are with this COVID-19 and just trying to make a new norm. So we were like, Lan, we got to be heard. We got stuff to talk about. Can we just go back just real quick for a minute and for those who missed season 1 of all the epic altercations we had?
And we might as well do it because they definitely were epic.
The first one was our first episode, which was Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and even after that, this year, I said I was gonna get better, but it didn't happen. It didn't
What?
happen.
Wait a minute. What was you supposed to get better with? Understanding what Valentine's Day? Did you get better this year with Valentine's Day? Did you learn anything last year with it?
I kept it in my mental Rolodex, but it's one of those things that you have some knowledge, but you don't do anything with it. So I
Okay.
really didn't. I'm kind of set in my ways.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. I mean, as we all get older, we get set in our ways. We don't really got a lot of time for much nonsense whatsoever anymore. So hey, I said what I said. I'm doing what I'm doing, and that's just what it is. And if you don't like it, then okay, bye bye, be gone. Then so yeah, but I won that episode. Remember?
Yeah, you got the slight edge. I do recall, but I guess when you come up on the short end for me, you kind of black those things out in life. So I can't really remember all the details of you winning.
Okay. Okay, I do remember. I remember because I remember people was hitting me up like, yo, you took it there. That was good. You made your point. That was great. So yeah. Well, we'll just move right on along. Okay. Then we talked about interracial dating. Do you remember that episode?
Yes, I do remember that. And right about now, with all the different racial tension, I wonder how those couples are managing with everything that's going on. I would love to be a fly on the wall to hear some of those conversations.
What? Man, are you kidding me? I would just love to be like an everyday spoon that everybody use in the drawer. Like, oh, I hear what's going on. Yeah, because I'm in the house. So I can't hide it. It's not like they're gonna throw no silverware away. So, you gotta just kind of stay in the realm of everything. But yeah, look how everything has changed from last year to now.
Yeah.
And we got the same stuff pretty much going on, especially not just the fact of interracial dating, but as far as racism still being an issue. It's again at the forefront, but it's even more clear now. It's a lot going on. So yeah, I remember we was talking about Mandy last year. Mandy.
Oh, good old Mandy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good old Mandy. You talked to Mandy?
Absolutely not.
No? Oh,
Nah.
okay. What about a Patricia or anybody?
No, those no, they're coworkers, and I mean I'm always gonna have respect for them as well as them having respect for me. But that's just not my cup of tea at this point.
Okay, not right now. I understand. I get it. Yeah, at this point. No, then wait. You remember Michael Jackson? We talked about that being in compromising and controlling positions.
Oh yeah, that was a great one. We had a good time with MJ on that one. Uh,
Right?
Neverland, huh?
Oh my God. Shout out to David, the producer. Oh goodness. But he was like, when his the whole situation, like I was angry. Yeah, I could not get over that part. But yes, Neverland, which again, I mean, honestly, we heard nothing else more about that. So what do you think? You think it was a hoax? You think it was just all about what?
Yeah, I think when people don't get a rise out of stuff, I think sooner or later it just dies down. But if it keeps heightening and it keeps elevating, then stuff just goes on. So I think that was kind of minor to whatever was going on during that time that people
Right.
kind of swept it under the rug.
Pause for the cause for a second. Do you think that happens just generally, like all the time? Like we get hyped up with one particular thing, or one thing that just brings it just brings distraction to us, and then we just ride the wave, and then it's like we just jump off at the next stop. Like, all right, that was fun.
Yeah, and to be honest, it is like that with a lot of things because we know we're in the height of the Floyd thing right now, but after a few days, it'll die down, and that's the problem. We never stick to that momentum or that energy to say
Mm-hmm.
we're not playing, we're going to be a force, and it just dies down, and that's why stuff seems like it never gets resolved.
Yeah, speaking of which, I kind of had my own situation like that today with me and my son in the car. Where again, people feel very comfortable being pulling the race card, and not to steer off topic, but you know, you got to do something. This is more than now and ever. This is a very important time to start, being heard and doing what needs to be done to change what's going on for our race as one. The melanin is basically an issue for people. They got a problem with melanin. And again, they're not afraid to show what kind of problems they have, nor take a life when it deals with melanin. So yeah, but that's a whole nother show that we'll talk about later down the road. So what have you been doing? Tell me, past projects and stuff.
I've been keeping it simple, really nothing major. I still have broadcasts through the Be Live studio in what I call a counselor's corner. Me and
Mm-hmm.
one of my buddies hanging out with Herb. So we do some segments every Monday night, but also decided to try to master the art of speech and presentation. So I wanted to enhance my skills in that area. So since during the pandemic, I've been taking an online course in that area, and it's been really insightful. So I look forward to continue with that. Then,
Okay.
other than that, just virtual counseling or lack of virtual counseling with my regular day job in Baltimore County at Golden Ring Middle. So that's
Mm-hmm.
been quite I don't want to say fiasco, it's been quite drama. Not that much drama, dramaless, because I'm used to being in the building like everybody else is used to being at work. So it's kind of taken away my importance. I'm just going through the motions with that.
I feel you. Are you, because I know you're a counselor, right?
Yes.
Yeah, counselor's corner. So do you have to go back to the school and clean up anything? Like, do you have stuff like in the desk that they tell you guys that you need to start coming back to get your belongings because they need to thoroughly continue to keep cleaning the school, or have you had any update, anything
Well,
different?
they're doing that strategically. They have allowed like maybe 10 people in the building. They can come get instructional stuff to bring home, but they're not allowing no one to kind of pack it up for the summer because they know right now if someone goes to get all their stuff, they're going to be on vacation somewhere out of sight and just disappear. So we're going to have time in June to be able to do that. But I work 12 months, so once they allow us back in the building, I'll be back in the building full
Oh,
time.
okay, I got you. And then you had a second book too. You put that
Oh
out as
yeah, yeah,
well.
yeah. I forgot about No Friday Foolishness.
Yeah, don't forget, don't sell yourself short. Yeah, don't
Is
forget about that.
There's so much going on that big things as important as that. My second book, I kind of pushed it. It kind of slipped my mind, but yeah, that book came out in November. No
Okay.
Friday Foolishness, and what that book is about is like my weekly thoughts, dealing with relationships, friendships, family, um, child drama, the dating game, mistrust, loyalty. And every Friday I would come up with a thought in the morning, and then I would give my perspective as the controversial counselor. Then
Mm-hmm.
it's space for people to self-reflect. So it's more of a self-help reflection book. And I've been
Okay.
getting a lot of positive feedback. People said, I've been touching on some critical points in there and it's been helpful. And some of the things I touched on, they're going
Okay.
through right now. So that's been pretty good.
Cool. That's really good. That's really, really good.
Now, what you've been doing, because you've been doing a lot, new logo, new YouTube channels, and snippets of things. I'm like, okay, she's killing it right now.
Thank you.
Lip gloss too. Wow.
I'm trying to kill. I'm trying to murder everything, man. I'm just being a Thundercat right now. I had to tear that logo down. Start off the season new. I really just, I think with this whole COVID thing, COVID equals creativity. So, I've been real creative. I was a host, I'm not a host, but a guest on Straight Up in the Morning radio show. So it was really dope talking to them. I also, started a new season, got a new logo, got a whole new shirt logo, new website. I started my YouTube channel. Well, I actually had that, but I really started putting more work into it and really sharing. So I developed a thing called the K Renee Quickies, where not only just giving the audio of podcasts, but also giving something visual. And I kind of get to, do my own thing instead of doing Facebook Live. I'm creating products out here because, my tagline is saying all the shit you're afraid to say. So I got some lip glosses while you're saying all the shit you're afraid to say. So this is when I got the orgasm, and I got one G-spot, which I'm doing the G-spot one right now with the undertone of another color. But I'm working on different things. I want to create something like a gift set that I can kind of put out there and just kind of tagline it behind the podcast. And just doing a lot more writing, dealing with more of my production software. So getting a little bit more hands-on with that. So that radio 101 skill is kicking in from broadcasting school as I've been in COVID-19 lockdown. so yeah, man, just doing everything, busy, homeschool, working from home, just still trying to, stay active, keep my mind active. So.
And I think that's the key thing, because a lot of people can fall into a deep depression during this time. And I always said, when you get a certain age, there's no such thing as boredom. You should always find something to do. In fact, when you're on point with everything, there's not enough time to get things done. So that's kind of my mindset of my motto. So when I see people on social media saying they're bored, I'm like, what's wrong with these people?
Why?
There's so much to do. So much.
You should be creating, and I've been making my own Febreze at home and disinfectants. What? YouTube is lit right now. You learn everything.
But you know what, Kelly? We got so much to talk about. We're gonna have to take a break and get ready to get into the meat and potatoes of this, because it's so much we got to say after all this time. So we're gonna take a break and we're gonna be right back.
All right.
Frustrated with heavy rubber hoses that always get tangled and easily kink? Introducing the Bionic Flex Pro hose, the super strong, super tough hose that's ultra light as well. Run over an ordinary hose and it'll easily burst, but the Bionic Flex Pro hose stays intact no matter what runs over it, because its reinforced drag-resistant commercial-grade outer polyester weave makes it tougher and stronger than ever. And its solid brass fittings are crush-proof too. Ordinary hoses kink easily and stop working, but the Bionic Flex Pro hose never kinks. It just keeps flowing strong. And while regular hoses easily get tangled, the Bionic Flex Pro hose is tangle-proof. You can get the 25-foot Bionic Flex Pro hose for just $19.95 with free shipping. But wait, order today and we'll upgrade your order to a 50-foot Bionic Flex Pro hose. Just pay a separate fee, and shipping is still free. Go now.
Call 1-800-304-3892.
So it's streaming on Facebook.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we're back, and I don't know if you want to introduce today's topic. This should be a doozy too, because I know a lot of people are struggling with this as well, being locked up in the house. So, why don't you bring us in with this topic?
Oh, okay. I don't need no drum roll, but the topic today of how we had to come back in with all of this during the COVID-19 is creative dating. Is it possible? Can we do it? Is it possible, David? Creative dating?
It's possible. You have to have an open mind to it, but I know from the circle of people that I deal with, they're kind of old-fashioned, so I don't think they're into it. So I think maybe the younger generation may be about it, but it's hard to see 40s and 50-year-olds saying I'm gonna give it not all, but I just don't see how they would be kind of pumped to do creative dating with Zoom and all these other different features.
Oh, okay. All right. So I want to save my golden question for you at the end of this show when we get to the wrap up. Let's talk about it though. Yeah, people are logging on to meet. A lot of people are logging on. Like they're logging on with House Party. They're logging on, not even really more so the dating apps altogether. But I mean, even Facebook got a dating app too. But people are really investing a lot of times more on these interactive media video chats. And because of the fact of us being kind of still locked down, where they're relaxing some restrictions, of course, which you still got people who are still in the fear of being paranoid to want to even go into the world of going outside right now and being in somebody's company. So creatively, they're meeting people online, having dates, of course, on Zoom, House Party, anything else that they can kind of connect to. Duo, that's another one where they kind of still get a chance to see the person physically. But it's all about the fact that it's just, is this a process that you can trust with someone online? I mean, do you think it's actually a hoax? Or do you think it's just the fact that they're going to do this temporarily until things are really back to 100% and then leave this person behind? Or are they making investments really right now on a partner?
Personally, I think it depends on the distance. If it's someone that's not too far away, then if they build up momentum and they've been, conversating on a regular basis, I think something could kind of jump off after the pandemic ends. But I think if it's someone, if you're in Maryland and they're in California or something like that, I don't know how realistic, or if they're going to decide, okay, they're going to plan paying for that flight money to get out there and back and forth. So they might just end up being friends. That's my take. Unless both parties just have money and they say, hey, why not? I love to get out of Cali, so we're going to make it happen.
Okay. I mean, speaking of which, they got an app for people that are in quarantine that are lonely, and it's the app that you can get a phone call from a complete stranger because of the fact that you just need somebody to talk to. I don't even understand how that would work and be successful. But again, would you trust being involved right now with someone because of the yearning just for companionship? Or, I mean, what do you think? Some people, like, with me, I have a little kid. My child keeps me on my toes every day. He's 4. He'll be 5. But the thing about it is, it's just us in the house. So I can never say I'm bored, ever. If I'm not doing my own thing, I'm doing something with him. So I kind of have that, little relationship with the fact that we're basically we're keeping each other active and entertained. But for somebody like, okay, you're a single guy. Are you still single?
But am I still single? No, I'm not
Yeah,
single.
you're not single.
No.
Congratulations. I didn't know.
Well, that stuff like that, I don't advertise.
Well,
From last year's shows, that's something I've seen too many people who advertise that stuff, and now they're catching it. They're feeling it right now because
okay.
they put so much investment into it, and now it's over, and they're in the pit. They're down in the dumps, whatever. So me,
Right.
nah, I'm not. I keep that stuff. That's my business.
Well, we know now.
Mm.
Okay, so can I play like kind of like a devil's advocate, I guess, in the sense. Let's go back to the fact of you being single, and let's
Uh-huh.
bring COVID-19 at that point. Would you trust the process of getting online, talking to somebody through house party or Zoom meetups, and being able to find companionship during these times?
Um,
Would you have
for
tried it?
for me, I probably would entertain it, but then after a while, I probably would get bored with it, or especially it depends if the person is, if they're real aggressive and they have expectations that I don't have. I think eventually I'll be like, I don't even know this stranger, and they get upset that I didn't communicate or I didn't respond. So I don't know how long I would go along with it. And
Okay.
for you to say people that's lonely, then they had to be lonely before that. So you mean to tell me they don't have no person that can they could touch bases with, and they depend on complete strangers? That's pretty pathetic.
Nah, because people burn bridges all the time. So they be feeling like, oh, I'm good. I don't even need to talk to this person anymore. So they're not going to go backwards and then try to, rekindle some type of anything. But then you have people, again, who, have been in that single position before we got to COVID-19. And then the fact that, of course, media hypes things up. And again, we don't know really what to believe right now with this virus and how long it's going to be. And then when you start listening to time frames and then knowing like you probably ain't getting out until 2021 because we didn't party like it's 1999, and then it's like over. So some people really feel like there's a whole second wave coming around, so let me try to snatch me somebody up right now and try to develop some type of closeness so that if we do get a second wave, maybe the second time around, if we do get sheltered in like we were, I won't be by myself.
Yeah, they could, they could have that. I mean, I think when you look for something like that, then it typically doesn't work. If stuff just fall in place,
Mm-hmm.
then that'll be different. But when somebody like, oh, I gotta find me something, or I'm waiting for God to deliver me a man or a woman, I can't subscribe to that theory. So I
Okay.
think when you're busy and you're not paying it any mind and not focus on that, somebody might fall into your lap. Maybe throughout your journey of what you're busy on, you might run into somebody with a common interest or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. But when you're sitting around waiting,
I mean, where are we
nah.
meeting people though right now, David? We're going to the market and we're going to Walmart. You can't even see nobody face from here. You got to do eye contact of things and be like, you looking at me? Like, are you looking at me like you looking at me? Or are you looking at, because you want to get to know who I am behind this mask? Like,
Well,
it's all about the way we have to change how we communicate now. And then some people are scared to just be around people,
well, say for example, if you put out a post or something that you're doing, and then you have people responding, and they're like, "Oh, I'm doing the same thing," and then y'all somehow connect through Messenger, and then y'all still start building a dialogue. That was based on a common interest. It's not like you're sitting around enjoying something for companionship. It just happened like, "Hey, we're doing the same thing." Like you had that common interest. So I was speaking on those terms. I think it would be more productive than joining some lonelyline.com.
Holylife.com. Okay, so do you honestly, I guess you feel like it cannot happen. I honestly disagree. I think you can make it happen. I really do. Just from friends of, my friends and them telling me, what's been going on since they've been in COVID, some that of course are in different states and have been locked down before we even got to the point of getting locked down here in Maryland, had started, really entertaining more conversations and having creative dates through house parties, Zoom apps, Duo, etc., where you're actually sharing a virtual meal together. You got your wine, they got their wine, you got your dinner and stuff like that. Or the situation of the guy, I think he was in New York, and some girl across the way, he met her just from being outside of her doing something, and then he got her number, and then they started talking virtually. And then he basically did everything he could to still try to make it happen to see her physically, and then still being protective and again being within that 6 feet of apart. And it was very sweet. So I think it can happen if you really, again, do have a common interest. You share the same common interest. But I honestly also think on the flip side that I think it's just people being very vulnerable right now and desperate because of the fact that, they don't have anybody and they got physical needs and they want to live those physical needs out.
And living those physical needs out, how is that going to work with them on Zoom? Like how, what physicality they're going to get from that?
I mean, look, it's not going to be much physicality, of course, because of the fact that you're doing virtual dating. But who said you can't send some kind of little sexy videos and pics and things of that nature to still keep it interesting?
Well, well,
and then you develop the physical part on your side with the material and resources that they sent you.
well, some of the guys are probably just logging into on IG because that's like porn city with these some of them women on there. So, and they got whole agendas of prices that they'll willing to do for guys based on that. So I could see some guys falling victim to that.
Are we talking about the fans only page people, or are we talking about like the ones that elevated from Instagram models to something different now?
No, they're like regular people, but they have like a list of prices that they're willing to do, like new pics for a certain amount, uh, masturbation. I mean, stuff like that, twerking videos. They got a whole. Somebody sent me a list of that, and I'm like, wow,
So
like wow.
So they're like a fetish thing that you can pay for these fetishes? This is what it's sounding like. They're advertising fetishes.
Whatever the guy asks for, it could be videos of threesomes and different things like that they're doing, and the prices range from like $10 to like $300, whatever. So, and I'm like, this is crazy, crazy.
Okay, so basically, it sounds like $40 isn't cutting it no more, and that unemployment ain't sent out no money yet. So we got to do what we need to do to make some type of dollars in here.
Yeah, well, I think $40 you could get something. They'll probably send you a picture, a nude for like 20 or something like that.
Listen, all I know is that from the post that I read is that $40 is like the base price. And that's not on the base price of a quickie, as I'm hearing.
Yeah, I think that's the standard. That's been like the joke going around, like $40. I don't know why they got that figure, but yeah.
So besides creative dating, they've been finding creative ways to make money at home anyway, too.
Yeah, they're probably killing the game. Some of these, because you got to think about it. Some guys when we were out in the world, that may have been part of their thing. They may be married, but they may have a fetish or something that they may handle before they come home. Now you're locked in the house and you're with your wife or a significant other. And these girls, I think they're taking advantage of the opportunity, and they know if they can, these guys may be looking for something, so they got this long list of prices that they're willing to do. And I best believe some guys are paying. They're paying.
I'm sure they are, as they always will. It'll
Yeah,
always be the man that'll pay before the woman.
yeah. I agree with that.
Oh, good. Hey, we got one. Okay. Well, so you don't find it more so that it's just that they're being vulnerable or that they're actually desperate, or do you find that it's just more desperation and vulnerability?
Again, I kind of tie it into people with really not trying to better themselves in other areas. Like I talk to a lot of people and they talk about the different things that they plan to accomplish and how once this ends, how they're going to come back out better. I
Mm-hmm.
think those people are not lonely. They're focused. They're locked in. I think it's the ones that they have their job. They've been doing it for years, and they really don't have no desire to upgrade the job or go back to school or take any classes. So those are the ones I think may hit loneliness. But hey, before we go any further, I think it's time for us to take another break because it started to get heated when we started talking about Instagram prices and all of that stuff. It's getting hot up in
Okay.
here.
All right.
All right.
Stay tuned to get this designer pan free from Gotham Steel. Tired of your pan that scratches and sticks? Well, it's time to upgrade.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with my new copper-style designer pan that's guaranteed to beautify your kitchen like never before. Eggs stick to other pans, but with mine they slide right out. And look, it still has the super durable ultra non-stick surface. It's oven safe up to 500 degrees, so bake chicken pot pie and serve it straight from the pan. And then it wipes clean with ease.
Wow, this is a beautiful pan. It looks great. Look at that. I love how they swirl. I tell you, I'm sold.
I can't believe how beautiful this pan is.
Similar hammered pans sell for almost $100, but today it's an incredibly low $29.99, and we'll even ship it to you free. But wait, call right now and you can get a matching single-serve egg pan absolutely free. You'll get it all. Call now.
Call 1-800-626-9128. That's 1-800-626-9128 or go to GothamHammer.com.
We do mystery, like once they unveil the mask, and it's like, oh, it's Professor Brown from science class. Like, it's you. Yeah. Or just missing in action altogether. Like I said, I think it can work if you're doing online, if you're doing dating apps. Let's just put that in the mix. If you're doing dating apps, you're trusting to find out, even though some of these people on dating apps got a whole real life with a whole wife, a whole husband, whole family, they just on there for fun. But it's kind of like you're trying to fish within of what is genuine. And I think you can find that. And I think it can work the same over here as well because of the way this pandemic got everybody's minds twerking around. Everybody's also on some whole new mental. Like, we've been in this position going on 3 months. The state shut down March 13th. June 13th, we're 3 months in. We didn't rewired our brain twice, going on 3 times. That then changed our thought process. So now we're looking at all kinds of different ends and ways and finding out more about who we are just in the downtime that we've been really not active doing anything, being able to go really where we want to go and enjoy life like we used to. But bringing into the next topic of this segment, you got people who are sneaking out to be physical, David. They're sneaking out for the booty calls.
Yeah, and that's hard to. I would only imagine that these must be people that's already been connected, and I just don't know how safe it is for to meet with some random person during this time. But then again, we know when the HIV and all of that stuff hit the scene, it didn't stop people from having sex or anything. So if people have needs, they're gonna say, "Hey, I don't got COVID-19. I don't got the Rona. So hey, um, unless you're positive, hey, let's make it happen." So you're gonna have people that's gonna take risks, but I hope it wouldn't be just with random people.
That's the thing. You do have people who are just being random with people and going back to where we are with this creative dating of them finally then having several conversations, dates, whatever the case may be, and they decide we're going to trust each other to meet up. And the thing about it is, even to your friends that want to come by and stop by, or you want to go visit them, and then even to the fact of our loved ones, we want to see them, we want to hang out. But then again, the mental part of the note is like, no, we can't be around people that's older. We're supposed to keep ourselves away because we can make them sick, vice versa, et cetera, et cetera. And so you got people who are used to visiting their families and friends that were used to it on a regular basis, weekly, daily. Now they're telling you to stay away from your loved ones in a sense. So now you're just trying to find somebody that you feel like I can throw this trust out here and let them come to my house, or I can go to their house because they said they wasn't hanging around anybody else. It's just them. They've been quarantined for months. I'll trust this process, and they'll go with it.
Yeah, and those are the ones that somehow, some way, it's gonna end up impacting them. And I know people have that mindset because look, when you go on social media and you see people having little gatherings and just hanging out, no mask on, and just living life. I mean, and clearly these people must have not had anyone that's had it or something close to their heart that they understand that is real. Because when I see 30 and 40-year-old people that die from this, that's alarming to me, and it's scary because I'm sure they didn't. That's not how they wanted to end it all with this virus. So people still have to be conscious of what's going on and take heed and take order. But I guess it's hard with the chaotic government that we have right now that people view that as a joke. So they're kind of rebelling against Trump and his administration and a lot of the governors.
I mean, yeah, well, point taken. You're right. That is what's going on. But then it goes back again to the fact that we have all these precautionary measures that we can take. If we are out and about, we go to the grocery store, we know that if we've been out for a certain amount of time, then we know to immediately come in the house, strip, get out of those clothes, spray it down, put your shoes at the door with Lysol, this, that, and the other. Some of us have already tricked our minds out to thinking, like, if I'm not out for a certain amount of time, then I'm really not in an effect. Another people are like, oh, it's hot, so this is killing the virus off. So my chances of getting it now is very slim because the heat, is supposed to kill the virus, which again is not necessarily true, which goes back to selfishness that people are still going to take the chance and step out because you do have those people with the mindset that's like, this is not really that serious. This is just like another different type of flu. My immunity system, I built it up. It's really good to go. I haven't had no problems. That sneeze is just allergies. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not sick. And they will invite that person in.
And I guess it goes back to us not being able to, only people we can control is ourselves. So you can talk to people until they turn blue. And if they have the
Right.
mindset that big deal and they believe this or that and they come up with these different theories, then you'll spend a lot of energy trying to convince them. So you just have to let them know how serious you are about it and keep following the precautionary measures.
Right. True that. And don't forget again the fact that besides you already taking the chance to go out and meet up, you still got to take the same precautionary measures after sex. You still got to clean yourself up, still got to wash out, etc. And then people in the mindset again is like, see, I didn't got all that dirtiness off of me, out of me, around me. So I didn't kill the virus before they could even attack my system, if they do even have it. But a lot of people don't understand that it's also within fluids, semen, things of course, that nature, getting past it from one to another. It is in our body. Some people are asymptomatic, and those are the scariest ones to be around because they don't even know what they got, if they have it, who they're passing it to.
Yeah, good point. Good point. So what do you do when you have all these variables, the loneliness, all the things that you hear about it, and then you have your own cultures and beliefs, and you have all of that stuff going through your head. So some people just gonna say, "The hell with it." They had
Uh,
that mindset. We're gonna die. I gotta die sometime anyway. So hell, I'm gonna live it and live my best life, and they
did I
roll with
just
it.
say party like it's 1999?
Yeah,
That's where
true.
we are right now. We like second wave coming. I've been good all this time. I don't have anything to fear or lose because I'm doing what I need to do. A friend of mine on Facebook said it's a lack of discipline.
And and that's true. That's true. I mean, when you think about it, I look at myself even as far as work. For 25 years, been in education, never would I have thought it would be a day that I would have to do some virtual stuff and do it for this long.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard. It's hard. So for people who've always came and go, even when they were younger, never had no restrictions, it's going to be hard for them to just say, you know what, I'm going to follow their lead and I'm not going to do
Mm-hmm.
anything. They're always going to buck the system. They are, and just hope that they're going to roll the dice and hope that it doesn't happen. Nothing happens to them.
Right. But again, we still go off of the trust factor when it comes to people giving us information about what they have and haven't been doing. We trust what they're telling us. And what do? Come on in. Just come on in. We just invite them in.
Yeah.
And you know who actually gives more of that trust factor to invite?
Who, guys?
Of course.
Yeah, because sometimes we may think we're invincible, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not paying attention to that." My homeboys, they could come through here, or if a young lady, she's willing to come, she could come through here. So I could see that. I could see women trying to play more by the books, but then you have some guys that could be very convincing, and they could try to change your mindset.
Yeah. And for the one who is not that disciplined within themselves, which that woman will fall for the trap, go down the rabbit hole because of the fact that she was selfish within wanting to have her own satisfaction as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't take much convincing, but I'm going to tell you who definitely will push the envelope, and it will be a male to push the envelope because they're more so having to sell themselves off of how they're not dirty and how they haven't been around anybody and how they've been self-quarantined. And you can trust me. It happens a lot, not even just during COVID pandemic issues, just real life issues when it comes to y'all men talking womp womp in some woman's ear. And then again, they get wrapped up to it and then fall victim.
Yeah, and you think about it, if you're building that conversation on Zoom or whatever, house party, sooner or later, and if
You're
you're in
already
distance,
developing the trust.
yeah,
You're already
so
developing the trust.
and if you've been a model of consistency on there, some woman may say, you know what, he's done everything he said. He's been there. I talked to him several times during the day. I'm just gonna let him come over and see what happens.
Yes, and see what happens. You already know what's gonna happen. That's why you didn't brought him over.
Yeah. And he says to himself, got her where I want her,
Got him.
got her.
Got him.
Hmm.
Yeah. Horrible. And then keeping the amount of the fact of people like me. I have a child. We ain't going to the hospitals. I tell them every day, we are not going to the hospital. I don't do hospitals, not on the weekend. If you fall, I'm gonna fix it. I don't know. We gonna pop Tylenol and we just gonna pray and lay down like they used to do back in the old days. I'm not doing that. And I'm not gonna bring anything around my child either because of the simple fact that I'm his caregiver.
Yeah, and I think you just for some, you just got to keep it simple. The less you do, probably the better off you are. Less is more in this case. So if you out there just trying to make sure your social life stay on point, or running over to your sister or your brother's house and you know that they're going to have random people come over, and you're kind of putting yourself out there. So
I
just
mean,
stay busy and occupied.
look at what's going on outside. People done got rid of the mask already. It was like somebody said on the news, like summer started and we good. And it was like, what? Let me take this mask off. Let me go get in everybody's face. What's 6 feet? You said 6 inches. Like they're still doing them as if there was nothing really going on. And the same in the meantime, again, you got people that are disagreeing with the fact of certain things being canceled. Artscape, summer altogether. Summer's gone. I don't know what they're gonna give back. And then the fact of now trying to do the outside seating with the dining as far as restaurants, they're blocking streets off and stuff. So now that certain restrictions are lifted, it kind of changes the game a little bit. That it now makes people feel a little more comfortable to be out, and now we can meet up for a real date. Now, would you trust that? Now that Little Italy is about to open up again and they're going to do outside dining, would you trust going down there and being able to meet up with someone that you've been talking to have an outside a real dinner, a date?
No, I'm still not trusting that. I'm still staying clear until everything, because even as far as with the barber shop and stuff like that, that's why, hence, got this full grown beard. I've been staying away, as hard as that is. So, no, I'm not about to go sit out amongst people outside and I'm not chancing it. Because some of it, they're opening up stuff out of pressure. But
Oh, yeah, definitely. I felt bad for my governor. I love Governor Hogan. I'm a fan of Governor Hogan, but I felt like somebody had a gun to his back.
Well, hey, before you go any further, we're gonna take another break because then we could come back with Hogan. Because, like I said, some of his conferences I see on there, like, yeah, he looks like he's going through it. But we'll be back
Okay.
momentarily, and we're gonna speak on that.
All right.
All right. Kind of learning on the job training is tough.
It is. I mean, because of the fact that you're a leader of your state, and you do have to consider the fact of where everybody's coming from all different angles. They're coming from the factor of You know, we need to try to keep our business afloat and keep it running before they try to shut it down. You know, they're looking at the fact that people are just like, well, why can't you just, you know, give us a little bit of an inch or something that we can take. We promise we won't run it to a mile, but just give us a little something. And then it's all the pressure. And then the funny joke, which I had to chuckle on it. They were saying his sign language guy has been telling us all along, don't listen to him. Stop listening to him. And I'm like, you know, you got to find some type of humor in it. But it's like, yeah, I mean, I felt the ignorance of the mayor in Ocean City. And he was like, if you don't feel comfortable coming out, then stay in the house. Like, excuse you, sir. You just lit the whole Ocean City back up. The freaking fry spot was open. Y'all renting rooms again. People was down there last weekend. No mask, no social distancing. And again, let's go back to our virtual buddy that we're dating online. So how do I know you wasn't in the midst of that crowd? You was out and about somewhere else.
You don't know. You don't know, and you don't have that ability to pick up on those cues. And it's just, I don't know. I guess just having trust or having faith that they're telling you the truth. But who wants to take those risks?
And speaking of faith, you got people that want to reopen their church, and they again believers of God, higher power, and now you got people that think in that same process when it comes back to this virtual dating. I trust that the Lord has my back and will cover me, and I will be safe. Because this person was brought to me through, you know, it wasn't like I was really looking for them. I just happened to entertain a conversation, and look, here we are about to make this happen. Would you, okay, not trust the fact to go down to a place that has outside seating and dining now, but would you try to maybe take the trust factor? If you do trust this person, you've been having these virtual dates and meeting with online, would you go try to do something like a little small, little intimate picnic, just the two of you? Or you still don't want to be around them?
Well, I think that's different. If it's just you two,
Mm-hmm.
you might be more willing to take that risk. But like amongst a crowd of people,
Mm-hmm.
you can imagine it's probably going to be people standing in line, and the seats there, everything's going to be probably congested. They're going to act like they're uh, following protocol and making sure that it's 6 feet apart. But I can only imagine after a while, after a week or so, it's just going to go back to how it used to be,
I mean,
but
I'm
just
sure it is.
outside.
I'm sure it is, definitely. But the thing about it is, it still goes back to the fact that loneliness, it's the same like misery enjoys company, companionship, loneliness, trying to find somebody, trying to maybe ride the storm out with, because of the fact that you feel like it's different from what the media is telling you, what the government is telling you, what the news is telling you. You're trusting your instincts to go off of your instincts to basically make something happen. And I think honestly, some women will be more inviting to it because of the fact that they feel as though that this is now the time that you get to see me in my roughness. You know, I'm on here right now. Look, I don't even know what to call myself. I just, I don't know. But I mean, but this is as rough as it gets. And so it's like you're seeing people in their real natural light, not made up, no weave, no hair straightened, no curls popping, nothing. This is what you get. This is what it looked like when all of everything comes off and you're really seeing who you, this might actually make certain relationships work out and be more stronger as opposed to the ones that was going on for the past. You got
Yeah,
people stuck in the house now with their real mates, their real significant others who are about trying to plot, how can I take you out of here? How? And the thing about it is, they don't really know each other because life kept going on. They were both going out to work, both doing their own thing. Now y'all in the house and been in the house for the last 2.5 months, going on 3, and you're like, this is who you are? I hate you. I
yeah.
don't like you.
I've seen a lot of that feedback going around, and
Right.
it is different when you work all the time or you're in school and you got different activities with the kids and you're
Mm-hmm.
constantly coming and going, so you don't
Right.
have time. Even though some people still have time to get an argument in then and there, but now when you're there the whole time and if both parties working from home, it's just it could be tough unless you're already grounded and what
Oh,
you
you
have
know
is real.
it's tough. There's no more posts. We are so blessed. I love him so much. This lady makes my whole life just life shine and just light up. And she the best thing that ever happened. Happy birthday, baby. Let that birthday come around coming up soon. HBD. They didn't abbreviated it. It ain't all that whole long post. It ain't showered with love. It's the fact that you're getting the real of people. So with cyber dating and online dating and Zooms and Duo, all of that house party, it's like how much are you really willing to go get yourself made up to try to really be something that you can't be right now because stores aren't open, your wardrobe probably ain't really popping. You got to go off your personality now. And like I said, I think right now doing this with these cyber datings, I think are going to hold stronger relationships for the people that obviously you're going to give the time and the trust to.
Yeah, if they're going into it for the right reasons, and a lot of times people, like you said, are attracted because of the physical or the appearance, the wardrobe, and stuff like that, without really getting connected to the actual the heart. So it's going to be interesting.
Oh, it is interesting. It's already interesting right now. It's already interesting. And like I said, it's happening right now. The way that everything has pretty much changed right now, this is all you get. All you get right now, more interaction on the computer. We're working from home. The kids are doing virtual learning. Everything is right here, right now. And it didn't take long to make it very normal.
Yeah, and when you think about also the school factor of the patience level of parents that's having to deal with their children, that's like a task trying to get them motivated to work and the frustration level. So now you can't even escape them. Before you had that time, 6.5 hours, either you were at work and they were in school, but you had that time away. But if you're working from home and they're
Right.
home, those are some long days. Those are some
Long.
long days.
They are what, man? I'm in here I'm everything. Like I said, I'm working from home. I'm the employee. I'm the cafeteria lady. I gotta assist. I'm the teacher assistant. I'm mom. I'm Alice from the Brady Bunch. I'm cleaning up all day. I'm just, my OCD's on 10 now. And then it's like by the time 8 o'clock gets here, because the day goes by so fast, as I noticed too, by just staying busy, I'm too tired to entertain anybody on nobody's duo and house party. I don't even want to talk to my friends on house party, and they be having all kinds of theme nights, and I don't care. And then when I get on there, I look like this, or there's a scarf around my head because I don't care. I'm mentally drained right now. Not physically, and I have to keep myself working out to keep my mind focused on what's important. But sometimes right here, this dating, this commitment, this companionship, the sexual relationships, this is important for people right now. They're trying to gain this in their life because, yeah, they didn't have it before the pandemic. And now they're going to try their hand to trust that one person that they can develop and devote their time to, gain a relationship, and be able to do the booty call within the next couple of days or months. Or not months, they ain't waiting months. Next couple of next week. Shoot.
Yeah, yeah. And again, I think that just it's a lot to it. And like you said, when you're exhausted, are they really getting the best of you if you're frustrated and stuff like that? So that could be a whole nother thing that by the time it does end, things will change by that time.
But they may actually be the confidant that you need right now. They might be that support that you need right now. I don't know how much more TV and series a person can probably get into right now. They're missing adult conversation, adult times. Like I said, you're going out and about, there's really nowhere to go but the market and Walmart.
Yeah. So it just made me think of something like, so what if you were conversing with someone and they never put the camera on and you just were hearing their voice? How would you feel about that?
Ah, good night. Disconnect.
What if they said that they're not comfortable yet and it's go take a little time?
I need a selfie. I need something. You better send something to me. I need something. That's like doing a Zoom meeting with only audio. No. Who's teaching us? Who's telling us this stuff? Nah. And I tell you, Scooby-Doo, I don't do Scooby-Doo mysteries. Unmask yourself.
Well, it's funny like that because now, when you start off and when I think about my job, a lot of people were coming on at with the camera at first, but now as faculty meeting goes on, everybody camera is off, and the principal is requesting, I want to see you guys' faces. I miss you guys, and you're like, yeah.
That's when you get that profile pic that come up on your video screen, like on Zoom. Like, here I go. When life was good. She's connected. She's on. She's online. Yeah, I see her. So yeah. I mean, it might come in, but again, if they don't want to reveal themselves, then that's the person you don't want to be talking to anyway. My crazy mind be like, they hacking my computer, they trying to get into my credit union account with no face and only audio. No, we're gonna have to disconnect.
Wow, it's a lot to think about, and I know for people who are the spectators who are watching it, it's just some different things. I hope you were taking notes, but we're going to take a quick break. And then I think we're going to come back and kind of finalize it and wrap this show up and just go from there. But it's a lot to be thinking about. More stuff to your plate. Sorry.
All right.
I can't stay.
Waiting for the key. All right, so we're back. We're reaching that final segment of this wonderful show, the return of Thunderous Altercation Season 2. And as you can see, we're just getting back, filling each other out. I think we both try to play nice today, but next week might be something different. But we'll see how that goes. So what's your final words that you want to say, Kelly, about this overall?
Honestly, I think that, like I said, people are going to act on their actions, their emotions. Women are more emotional, of course, than men. Women may actually entertain the fact of being able to create a relationship online. They might actually find it a little romantic, that the fact that a man or woman, depending on your preference of, that they took the time to make this happen and to want to get to know you. You can definitely see the signs. Watch out for the red flags. And if you feel as though everything is genuine, then keep pursuing. But you're going to have to use your own discretion if the booty call is what you're going to actually want to meet up for. So I would be very cautious and careful of that.
And you know what? I kind of agree with that. And I just think that to stocks and crypto and things like that. So they're a little bit past that stage. And I guess they said if something jumps off, it will, but that's not their concern. So I would always say, find something you're passionate about. And when you're passionate about something, other opportunities open up. And that's kind of my mindset. And I know we, as far as next week topic, I was thinking about, because for some, we still have to go back and kind of retrain this whole dating thing. So I was thinking about something like the 8 principles of dating, and these might be more so my principles, but I
Oh,
think it'll be an interesting conversation.
okay. I'm digging that. I'm digging
So,
that. Okay, we'll fight next week for real, for real.
oh, definitely, whatever. It should be entertaining with some
Oh,
of
it
those
will
thoughts.
be. Yeah, it definitely will be. Definitely. You're right. We played nice today, but that's
So,
cool.
so Kelly, tell them how people can reach you.
Yeah, you guys can definitely reach me on Facebook as Kelly Renee. That's Kelly Rene. I'm on IG at K Renee Show. Definitely you can hit me up on the website, thekreneeshow.com. And make sure you check out the podcast, The K Renee Show, full of explicit content, and I'm on all streaming platforms. So yeah, that's where I am. What about you, David?
And here I'm David Glover. Also, I got Controversial Counselor on Facebook. I have other different pages, the Counselor's Corner. If you put in David Glover or David Lorenzo Glover, it'll pop up. LinkedIn, David Glover. Instagram, David Glover .7712. So pretty much there. And then my website is www.controversialcounselor.com. So there you have it.
All right. And if you want to call them, call 777-9311.
Hey, might as well. Might as well. Never know the conversation. We might can meet up for a little sandwich or something.
In your car. In your car.
Hey, we'll go to the drive-in. Who knows? But we're out. We're gonna get out of here next week. Stay tuned for the next episode in Thunderous Altercations, and we look forward to coming back and bringing y'all an interesting and dynamic season 2.
Yes. 5 p.m. Don't forget, you guys. We'll be here live Saturday.
And we're out. That's a wrap.